Hi Bracha, welcome to Zero to Pro. Good to have you on board. Thanks for believing in yourself and jumping in. And I'm telling you, according to the way it's going, everybody who has the wherewithal to do the course, don't get me wrong, there's people who drop out, okay? It's not going to help you. But if you do it, you go with it, and you really, you really go for it, it's like 100% now. The people who are graduating the class are doing amazing things, and you are in a prime position. Looking at this first portfolio of pictures you've sent us, excellent. This course is built exactly for people like you. You've got the right equipment, you've got the eye, and you're out there. You did all the homeworks, all the photo shoot as well. Excellent. So just as a word of introduction that I give to everybody, we ask of you three things. Obviously, number one, watch the stuff online, obvious. Number two, do the homework. Number three, do the photo shoot. It's not in that order, okay? And I'll explain. I say this to everybody, but number one, watching it online gets it into your head. Number two, doing the homework gets it into your heart, means you understand it properly. And then number three, the photo shoot actually gets into your hands, and it becomes one with you. The wisdom of photography, it will become one with you, and then you can just forget about it. You just know that there's a bunch of questions, and then you know the answers, and you do that, and now you can get on with really relating to your client, to your subject, to creating a real experience in your subject, so you can really get their personality to jump out, which is what it's really all about. Okay, so stick with it. You did excellently. You also, thank you so much, you labeled everything perfectly. I really appreciate that. It saves me a lot of time. So this is a great beginning, and let's jump in. Okay, so this is the triangle. Yeah, okay, you have a triangle. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Okay, and it's quite well balanced. This could have been lower. This doesn't add to the triangle. If that wasn't there, provided that didn't fall down, that would be a little bit better. That does make a difference. But what I want you to do, and I say this to everybody, is try and see a triangle. I did this just before. I've said this to many people, but check this out. Watch this. I'm going to move my cam. Okay. And now I'm going to just move now I always find a different triangle when I do this. Let's just have a look here. Nothing immediately jumping out. There you go. Look at this. 1 second. Just bear with me. It's worth it. Okay, it's not perfect because I can't. But you can see. Look, this is. It's weird for me to see this. It's funny on my screen. But so I can't even show you. But look, if you look here, you see this. This is my my microphone. There's a line comes here. A line comes down here. And my hand comes back here. Okay, that is indeed a triangle. Now that triangle doesn't exist only from that one little place where excuse me, let me just clip you back on. That one place that I move myself to, yeah, that triangle doesn't exist anywhere else. So yes, say to somebody, come into my room and look for my triangle, they wouldn't be able to see it because it's only from that very specific vantage point. Now, so look for triangles in that sense, okay? This is good and obvious, but try and do something a little bit more. Upload for me another bonus picture for next week. You can just do that. You don't need to ask. Just upload this extra picture where you find a triangle that is only because you got to that certain place. Okay, good. Okay, let's look texture. 1 second. Let's get the other texture picture next to you. Where's the other texture? Texture, there we go, good. Okay, good. This is a soft texture. This is a hard texture. 1 second. Let's just understand this now. Now, we have different kinds of textures. We have hard textures and we have soft textures. This would be considered a hard texture. You see there's hard lines all over the place. Okay, now this would be, this for sure, even though it's out of focus, but this for sure would be considered a soft texture. And this is a little bit harder, but still considered a soft texture. Okay, even though it is a soft texture, like it is if you touch it, it's a soft texture, but it's not graphically as soft as this area here. That gives you a relaxed, passive feeling. Now the green here is distracting. I'm gonna get rid of the green. It's a nice picture, by the way. Just turn it into black and white. Okay, look at the difference here. Do you see just the taste? This is one of the things, one of the reasons of this assignment is we need you to be able to taste the graphical, the ramifications of certain graphical elements. That sounds really complicated. That you're able to taste what it looks like. Like for example, you get a taste. There's the taste of sherbet, yeah, which is very tangy. However you want to, what words you want to use. It's very like dynamic. You're very like. And then there's like, say, yogurt, which is a completely different kind of taste, okay? Is one better or worse? They're different. So now, as a photographer, your goal, I suppose this is how I explain it, as a portrait photographer, your goal is your subject, taking pictures of whoever you're taking pictures of. But now we've got all the other elements to create a feeling or an emotion, an experience around that person, of their picture, of their expression, whatever it is, using all the other graphical elements. So to be able to taste when something's tangy or when something's like much more relaxed, like this, yeah, and you're trying to take a picture of a little kid or a grumpy teenager, or that's going to help determine what kinds of things. There's lots and lots of things: textures and lines, shapes, colors, gradients, dynamic range, loads of different stuff, and they all lead to different tastes. Okay, so those were great. Pattern, yes, that's great. That's a nice pattern. I like that. Reoccurring geometric sequence, very good. I really do like that. That's a cool pattern. Like just graphically, again, we could look at this as just some kind of gate or whatever it is, but as artists, we're just looking at graphics. This is just strong diagonal lines here, and then we've got a cross in the background over here, which means, one second, I'm not going to draw all of these lines, but the basic structure of this picture is like this. Now there's a lot of dynamic tension going on in that graphic. A lot of dynamic tension. So even though this is just a picture of a gate, okay, it's not. It's just a bunch of graphics, just like everything else. It's just a bunch of pixels and colors and whatever. So it comes together as lines with this kind of crazy crisscross situation. There's a lot of dynamic tension when you look at that, just like when somebody scratches down the chalkboard and you like go like that, or when somebody plays a Japanese flute, yeah, and you go, yeah. So too, when you look at certain things, like the color red makes you go a little bit more like the scratching of the thing, whereas blue is much more relaxed. There's a lot of different things, shapes, textures, etc. Okay, we'll get into that another time. The fact is, we're actually releasing a class really going into the details of everything here. You'll get details of that soon as well, Hashem. Okay, let's go. Okay, depth. So look, let's first look at this. Okay, this is how I learn where my students are from in the world, from pictures like this. Well, I know that you're not in Israel, that's for sure. Okay, so this is perfect. This is based on, if we line up these lines, one second, let's do this again. This is what creates what's called a vanishing point, okay? So I'm not even looking at where my point is, I'm just lining up lines, and then it comes out that each line, if I line this line up, let's just get that straight, keep that straight, then all these lines line up, they all end up coming to this point over here. That's called your vanishing point. Now that gives you a feeling of forward movement. It's like a triangle, a big kind of arrow pointing your eye into the picture, so your eye moves inwards, and it gives the experience of depth. That's how it works. Okay, so this is another experience of excellent. This is perfect. This is another experience of depth. It's the opposite. This is the experience of life, where we've got the trees obviously much closer than the clouds. So this demonstrates depth. It's not as effective as the depth demonstrated with perspective. Okay, because this is really very, very far away. Yeah, but you don't really know that. You only know it because you know it, because we know that clouds are far away from trees. But graphically, it doesn't actually make you feel that. So perspective, depth created through perspective is generally much more effective than any other way of doing it. Okay, that really demonstrates the point. So thank you for that. Appreciate that. Excellent. This is the picture that I'm most. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of things here that aren't that can be changed. But you've nailed. You've got a very good innate sense of balance, of graphical balance. Okay, excellent. That's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. It's very rare that somebody nails it, especially on the first homework. Our point of entry is his eyes, and then we have this big movement coming this way, and by the time we get to over here, our eyes got on board and we've come back. Excellent. I'll just say, as in regards to the truth is also that his body's taking us this way, and his head's taking us this way. It's a much stronger energy moving this way than from this way, so it's come out to be really exceptionally balanced. That is excellent. I don't want to trim away any part of the image there. Nice one. Just as a very quick point, be careful of light like this. This is called messy light. Okay, where you have the light coming from above in this angle, which means he's getting a splash of light on his nose and on his cheek. Try and find light where this doesn't happen, which would mean either generally all shadow with the sun coming from behind, that is our default place, or definitely in a shady area. But yeah, so just keep that in mind. Okay, great. This is really excellent. Okay. Perfectly cropped in close. You are shooting on program. This course was literally designed just for you. Okay, so appreciate that, Baruch Hashem. The stats are not good, but you're going to learn about that as well, Hashem. You've cropped in beautifully. Okay, perfect. Like really, you've got a nice energy moving this way. You've got a shape coming around here. But we've got just enough room to come back and around. Excellent. Really good shot. Look, he needs a different expression. The light's okay. It needs some Photoshop. Maybe we'll take that one into Lightroom. But the actual cropping in close is excellent. Good. Slightly out of focus. Or not out of focus. It's probably the movement blur. You're going to learn about that in the third class and the fourth class. And the second class. There's a lot of foundational principles here. This is great, except for the fact that it's not sharp, which means it's difficult to look at. This is nice. No need to have cropped in here. This area could be cropped off a little bit. Good. Okay. Here, now these kinds of pictures, it's good to get really down to the kid's face level, and that will make a difference, as it is here. Don't get me wrong, it's very difficult to take pictures of a little kid like this. It really is. I can't stand taking pictures of kids like this. You have to. It's like newborns is a whole different thing. Oh, excuse me. Newborns is a whole different thing. But this age where they can't sit and they can't do anything really is very difficult. Okay, so don't feel like, oh no, what's going on? It's a difficult age. You can get such nicer pictures of kids a little bit older. But anyway, look, as it is, it's good. The texture's a little bit hard for him. But again, showing sensitivities to the balance of the image and the directions of the image. Excellent. Okay, missed the focus. You're going to learn in next class what focus is. Okay, we're going to tell you that focus is distance, and we are focused here as opposed to here, which means it's a different distance. So his eyes are blurry, the background is in focus. You will learn that in class 2. Okay, but it would have been a nice shot, but unlucky. Okay, here these digits getting cut off. Is it usher to cut off feet and hands? Well, like graphically, I don't know, no, it isn't. It's not usher at all. The question is the lines graphically. Can we have lines? I would like to show. I'm going to find a picture. One second. Let me try and find it now. I won't be able to find it. I just have a vague memory of it. But there is a perfect example. There's many examples, but the point is when we have lines. Right now we have this experience. Okay, we have movement coming in all directions. Okay, so in that sense, our eye is moving with these things, and it's going. The rule is our eye is not allowed to bang into the side of the canvas. That's the rule. Okay, so here it does. Okay, let's take this picture into Lightroom. Part of the course is that I take a picture each week of yours into Lightroom. Right now, you haven't. If you're just a regular person who's joining our class, you don't have experience in Lightroom. Maybe you do. If I'm telling you anything that you already know, I'm sorry. I apologise. But I'm not going to be explaining things too deeply now because it's just if you're a regular person in our class, you haven't been exposed to Lightroom. But this is a great introduction. Go with it. Just see what Lightroom can do. Try and remember as much as you can. You'll do the workshop in a few weeks, and you would have had the introduction. And I'm telling you, it's amazing how this system is helping people, Baruch Hashem, to really couple this stuff. So let's go into develop. Let's take a picture. I'm gonna go black and white, I think, with this. And I want to give a very bright look on the kid's face. I'm going to go into my black and white. I'm going to raise up the oranges, which is usually where the skin tones are. Good. I'm going to drop the clarity. I want to make things a little bit more soft. Okay, and I want to darken all this area here. I'm going to raise the exposure as well a little bit in a minute. Drop the exposure here. And you're like, no! Don't do that to my picture. And I go click, and it's like, oh wow, that's nice. 1 second. There we go. I don't know if we need to do much more to that. Let me just soften this a drop. Let's try again. Duplicate, but without the exposure. Good. I think we can actually just brighten the face a drop more. So it's just now we're using the pen tool. Okay, we haven't got an effect chosen, and I think we're going to put the clarity out a little bit. And I'm going to do another brush tool. Sorry, and I'm going to enhance the eyes. Press spacebar helps me zoom in. Now just paint over the eyes very quickly. Spacebar allows me to scroll if I press space and hold my left mouse button. Okay, let's have a look. Went from here to here. Okay. Bracha. Excellent beginning. Really. Big pat on the back. Stay with it. Invest yourself. I guarantee you it is such a worthwhile thing to invest yourself into. The results that we're seeing are really amazing. It's really inspiring. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you do for us next week. All the best.